This is the Travel and Tourism Show on Star FM.
Good evening and welcome to the Travel and Tourism Show. I'm Mazwi Shamu. This is the show that gives you information on where to go, how to go, what to do, and how to do it. Several weeks ago, we were talking about cultural tourism and we touched on a concept to do with village tourism. Tonight, I've invited Kudakwashe Chingono to the show. He's going to talk about what he knows along these lines to do with village tourism and what he's doing within this particular area. Kuda, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mazwi.
Tell me, who are you? What are you doing in the tourism industry and how did you land up here?
Thank you. I'm a young man of 34 years of age and by training I'm an accountant, but by calling I'm a farmer and now I'm into tourism. I was encouraged by the talk by the Ministry of Tourism and ZTA trying to push local tourism to lower the rates and just to promote cultural tourism. So me being a farmer, I decided to value add my products by getting into tourism. Basically, I'm a horticulture person and an animal husbandry person. So I decided to start a concept which is quite unique by getting into village tourism by way of building a proper African village, a standard African village within the village itself. So I don't know how many stars or I don't know how you grade those things, but I've done a concept where I've built abnormal size round huts in my village on a 32,000 square meter plot. Initially I wanted to do just my place, my beautiful village that I could just stay and visit, but the people who had me going to the village every week to build for a full year who ended up being excited and curious on wanting to see what I was trying to construct. That's when I realized that I could actually get into village tourism and make it a business.
Okay, so listeners, if you go onto my Facebook page, Mazwi Shamu, you will find pictures of what Kuda is talking about, the village that he has set up. Can you break down, Kuda, what exactly village tourism is all about?
Village tourism is basically a concept where we are trying to promote our culture. We built abnormal sized round huts, like I'd said, and for the purpose of the comfort of urbanites and foreigners, we've just added some spice by doing en-suites within those round huts. So we've got toilets and showers, and some of them have got actual tubs. So we are trying to promote culture by staying in those huts and by creating an African games center where we've got Pada, Rakaraka, Maflau, Nodo, and draft and playing cards and what do you call this? Beach volleyball. Then we've got a bar on top of a hill. I don't know whether it was a very good idea to do that, but then we've got a bonfire pit that we have constructed where we have got a huge bonfire and we've got cultural dances and songs, Bira and Jerusalem and stuff. Then we've got hiking as well. And we've got a natural pool that we've created in the river where if you want to go extreme and to actually bath in the river the way we used to, you can actually do that without the fear of anyone watching you and stuff like that. So basically we're trying to push people to go back to their roots in a very comfortable and lekker way, if I can put it that way.
That's very interesting. What I want to know is what made you think of the cultural aspect of it? I know you talked about you were inspired by the minister and their drive for tourism, but why a cultural village? And it also sounds very educational. Your cultural village itself.
True.
Who are you targeting? Who's your market?
I'm targeting urbanites. Our children are so stuck to social media and internet and cable TV and stuff like that, and they have lost our culture completely. besides just saying few Shona words here and there or Ndebele words here and there, they've really lost our culture. They've become so Western. So what pushed me basically is trying to make our culture acceptable again in the urbanites, and also trying to sell our culture to foreigners all over the world, and also to have a place where African diplomats can call home. Because when they're here, they're in Borodale and high offices somewhere. When they go back home, they might not even have time to go to their own village sometimes, I don't know. But I wanted just to try and create a place where it's African and cultural to the extent that people can actually enjoy that. Because you agree with me, Mazwi, that progressive people or lucky people, for argument's sake, lucky people who have got good paychecks, they've gone to all these other resorts. And the breakfast itself is actually almost the same. But when you decide to look for something different, we have got the cultural stuff, the magogoya, madumbe, mafet kuku, and these things, they were part of our culture and they are part of our culture, but we don't have them anymore in our normal life in the big city. So I tried to look at a project where people can be excited to do something differently than the normal tourism destinations that we go to.
Why do you think that's important for us to focus on our culture? Anapada, Anaraka, all of those games.
That's who we are.
Going backwards?
No, it's not. It's not going backwards. That's who we are. We are supposed to be proud of who we are. If you look at the Western music, that's who they are. And the way they dress and all that, that's who they are. This is who we are. Ubuntu comes from culture. So I cannot overemphasize this, but we have to go back to who we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How has this been embraced by people? Are they taking it on board? What of your visitors? How many visitors have you received since you started? And what are they saying? What's the feedback that you get after they visit the village?
The visitors we have got, like I said, they're urbanites, and some of them were actually foreign, white-skinned foreign nationals. The feedback has been amazing. That is the reason why I had to even approach the high offices to do tourism, ZT and stuff. I went there to check on them because this is a new project. We finished building in December, and we had test guests from December to April. And then from then onwards, it has been really amazing because they love the aspect of the simple things, the African games, which we so love and are forgetting slowly. The bonfire, it's a simple thing. If you just put a huge bonfire, we don't have that anymore in our normal lives. And the feedback has been good because it's educational. The new curriculum apparently also emphasizes on the cultural aspect of study, and those things are very helpful because we've got all the clay pots and their names, and we actually use them. Maturi, Maguyo, I don't have the English terms for that. All those things, everything that you find in a cultural village, it is actually there in our place. And everyone who's going through the new curriculum, they find it very useful because they don't read about these things only, they get to use them and to see them.
What's your source of energy?
We're off the grid completely.
So what happens? How do guests?
We use solar lights, okay. Very bright solar lights, and gas deep freezers, and
is this not straying from the cultural concept? I also heard you talking about the bedrooms and how they've got the bathrooms inside. Bathroom.
Jarata.
To go in pairs.
The jarata.
Yeah. So are you not straying away now from the cultural concept? How do you explain that?
No, you agree with me that you might love the culture, but there are certain things that you feel could have been done better. Okay. I wouldn't want to squat in a black toilet, maybe because of my body or because I'm not used to it anymore. So we did that, and at the same time, when someone goes to the village to have a weekend cultural experience, we also want ice for whiskey. There's opaque beer, obviously, and the Fuko and stuff. And we probably the interesting thing during the past week, the Heroes weekend, before Heroes, the weekend before Heroes holiday, we had some guests who wanted to go to Kujiti, club, African club. So we drove them there to an actual GT in the village. It was good. So we kind of softened some things to do with the ice and the bathrooms and stuff, because these are things we feel could have been improved somehow.
Right. That makes an exciting environment, actually.
Yes, it does.
I'm also thinking about the fact that Komurewa, that region, is where the Mbende dances originate from.
Yes.
So incorporated into the village and into the experience should be very good for a visitor. Tell me, how have you involved local communities within your areas so that they are also benefiting from tourism, so that it's not just a project that you have imposed within their area and you are gaining economically from them? How are they getting involved in your particular project?
Very important, extremely important question, because for someone who might be inspired out there, they need to play their politics in courts well with the villagers, because the moment they don't accept the project as theirs, you have problems. I don't know what kind of problems you might deduce some of them, but I involved the community from the word go. I didn't mold any bricks. I bought bricks from everyone.
I'm going to stop you for a second. Is this your Kumusha area?
Yeah, that's my actual village.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but it's even worse. If I had bought a village somewhere, it was going to be even easier. But in our Shona culture, the people whom you call yours are the people who can actually bewitch you or burn some of your hearts or send some things there that, So I involved the community. I didn't buy mold any bricks. I bought bricks from the community. Whoever didn't have bricks, I asked them to carry the bricks with their scotch cart. So everyone benefited. Someone would just get river sand from the river. Someone would just get some thatching grass. And so forth and so on. So I involved them in the whole process of building. And not even one village I can say I didn't get $5 or $1 from me, one way or the other. Now that we are very new and operational, I've got guys who are making clay pots for us, and then they bring them, and I've got guys who can actually come and use the guyo, the duri and stuff. The guys who actually come to play the mbira and the drums and so forth. So before it was completed, I had support from the community and I supported them as well. Now we are operational. The community is also coming in to do several things and to bring some artifacts that could be sold as well to the visitors who are going away and so forth. So yeah, it's working out very well. They accepted the project, and when someone is lost, they just mention my name or the Heart of Africa and they're directed. Some of them would say, let me in, I'll take you there and I'll walk back, because it is their project.
Say I come through and I spend the night. What should I expect? Am I getting housekeeping? Do I have serviced accommodation? What sort of catering should I expect to get? Is it local, traditional food, or is it mixed cuisine, mixed with westernized? Am I served? Do I cook it myself? What's the setup that you have?
The rooms are serviced, room service, and when you come through, normally we actually discuss. We discuss what kind of meals you want. Do you want 100% Western? But we don't really like that. We actually like 100% African. But when we discuss, we hear your needs, and then we can actually blend the African with the Western a little bit. Everything else that you experience in every other tourist operator, you get the service that you want, warm water, everything, the service rooms. When you want to spend the second night, all the linen is changed and stuff like that. So we discuss that. When we know your needs, then we actually do exactly what you would want.
Okay. So how many people can the village cater for at a time?
So far, we can cater for 12 people comfortably at one go. Because of the African Games Center, we love groups to come through. If you come with maybe 4 couples or a huge family of 12 or even 16, depending on the type of group, we can create more space in the huts and stuff like that. So it's actually nicer when you come with a small group so that you can play pada and all these other things and do some bit of hiking and diving in the national pool and stuff like that.
Okay, you've answered the question I was going to ask. That
Okay.
apart from pada, Tauya, is there anything else we can do?
Yeah, you can't exhaust.
Raka or pada.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right. So, how have you been marketing yourself? And within the marketing that you've been doing, have you faced any challenges, even in running the village itself?
The first question is, okay, we use Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter, and word of mouth. Like I said, from December to April, we're having test guests. We just invite people in the house and get them to enjoy the experience. And then those people, when they then go out there and start talking about their experience, they love it. So now we've done a Facebook page, and when guests come in, what is the second question?
Well, just before I go to the second question, what is the Facebook page?
The Heart of Africa.
The Heart of Africa.
HUT. The heart is in the building.
Okay.
The Heart of Africa.
All right. The second question was,
If I had any
what
problem.
challenges have you faced?
Okay. We haven't faced much challenges as such, besides the fact that people are compartmentalized. In other words,
What does that mean?
they are stuck to their formal jobs to the extent that it's difficult to get a group at one go which can come complete. Someone is busy and someone is free, or it's not a holiday, school holiday. So some of the times when it's a school term or when it's not a weekend, it's difficult to get complete groups because someone somewhere who is supposed to be part of the group is busy. That's basically the only problem we've had. Yeah. Otherwise, everything else, to be honest, this is a new concept and it's actually very exciting even to us. We haven't had much problems in terms of marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're targeting leisure tourists at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to expand? Because within the leisure industry, there are seasons. There are times where we're stuck at work and
Yeah.
I really can't come. Even if I wanted to go on a holiday, I can't go. But you are also expecting business. So
Yeah.
how are you expanding to try and remain consistent?
We actually want to start hosting schools, day trips, cultural trips, so that Masala Daega, they can go and experience beautiful African practices. So we thought maybe during the week, even during the school term, we can get schools coming through for a day trip. They do all these activities. They have the African food, and they go. We also thought maybe as we expand the buildings, we might as well host some church groups of some sort who want just to have an outreach, or even young couples who want to come and bond, and stuff like that. So we thought maybe if we can involve schools, it will be very educational and it can be also beneficial to the country vis-a-vis the new curriculum. So that way I think we can be able to be consistent in our incomes throughout the year.
So are you a pioneer in this field, in village tourism? Are there other models that have been done that are similar to yours, or are you the first?
It would be difficult for me to say I'm the first because I'm not sure. The only village that inspired me is the one at Great Zimbabwe, although it's not habitable. It's just a village where people can actually see, and it's very nice. And the guys there are very hospitable and nice music and stuff. So I don't know really whether there's anyone else who has done my kind of thing. So far, I haven't met another person who has done the kind of thing.
We are Star FM, sounding good all the time. I'm Mazwi Shamu, and I'm speaking to Kudakwashe Chingono, who is running village tourism, the Heart of Africa, which is out in Murewa. You can go onto my Facebook page, Mazwi Shamu, and you can look at all the pictures that show what happens at the Heart of Africa and how you can get there and what you can do when you are at that particular place. He's talked about a lot of cultural and educational aspects. Kuda, what are the final words that you can tell people and encourage them? Maybe people who want to come and visit, or maybe people who want to join you. What can you say to them?
Two things that come to my mind. Number one, simple things are the most interesting things in the world. What I'm saying, or what I'm doing at the Heart of Africa is basically the simple things that we all know, but we are not doing anymore, but they actually bring value. So my advice really would be, all of us are Africans, all of us belong somewhere. Let's start some of these things and grow our country. Number two, this is really not a response to your question, but it comes to my mind just now. Africa Day. My dream is on Africa Day, I want, at the Heart of Africa, I want to build a Zulu hut and a Malawian hut. Because my mom comes from Malawi. Malawians follow the milk line. We follow the bloodline. So I want on Africa Day to have an African expo where African diplomats and everyone come and they showcase their culture.
Very nice. Sounds very interesting, and I'm sure it's going to go a long way. And you're right that culture is important and we must preserve it. And this is one way of ensuring that it is preserved. Kuda, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you.
That's all we have for you tonight. I hope you can visit the village at some point. Kuda, can you share some details? How we can find you on Facebook or where you're located?
Okay. My Facebook page, if you want to use my name is Kudakwashe Chingono. The spelling is Chingono. If you want to use the Heart of Africa Facebook page, it's also there. My app number, which is the data line, is 0732 263 024, and my calling number is 0717 263 023.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming to the show, and thank you everyone for listening. Please keep sending through your messages. Until next time, happy traveling.
Thank you for tuning in to the Travel and Tourism Show on Star FM.